Having sex, is there a quantifiable measure that ensures happiness, health, or enduring connection? You may find the scientific findings surprising. Please remain engaged, as I will disclose a lesser-known fact that holds the potential to fundamentally reframe your perception of intimacy during this stage of life. I am Dr. Lily Stones, and I have dedicated over 30 years to the care of women just like you. Too frequently, society dismisses the concept of an active sex life in older adults, implicitly suggesting that intimacy is a phenomenon to be outgrown. I assure you, intimacy does not possess an expiration date. In fact, clinical research demonstrates that sexual activity later in life confers profound benefits across both the cognitive and somatic domains. Before we delve into the details, I ask for your support. If you value these discussions, please like this video, leave a comment to share your reflections, and subscribe so you do not miss future episodes. Together, we are cultivating a space where women can age with confidence, knowledge, and joy. Let us examine the clinical rationale for the relevance of intimacy as we age. You are likely familiar with the myths that you are too old for sex, or that it's not the same. The reality is vastly different. Sexual well-being in later years does not diminish health. In many ways, it actively enhances it. The somatic and cognitive benefits of intimacy, maintaining an active, intimate life, can support both physical and emotional health. Cardiovascular support. Physically, intimacy functions similarly to low-intensity exercise. It elevates heart rate, promotes circulation, and supports cardiovascular health. While not a substitute for formal physical activity, it actively contributes to cardiac engagement, stress, and pain reduction. According to the Mayo Clinic, sexual activity stimulates the release of endorphins, the body's natural analgesics, which helps to mitigate stress, reduce perceived pain, and elevate mood. Improved sleep quality. Many older adults experience challenges with sleep onset or maintenance, particularly post-menopause. Intimacy, whether through direct sexual activity or simple physical proximity like cuddling, stimulates oxytocin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and reduces anxiety. This release of tension can facilitate deeper, more restorative sleep cycles. Mental health and vitality. Studies published by the National Institutes of Health, (NIH) consistently indicate that older adults who maintain sexual activity report lower incidence rates of depression and anxiety. Feeling desired and connected restores a fundamental sense of vitality, reinforcing self-perception as relevant and vibrant. Cognitive protection. Research suggests that sexual activity stimulates cortical regions associated with memory and learning. Some studies even propose a potential protective effect against age-related cognitive decline, such as Alzheimer's disease. Consider intimacy as an active form of cerebral exercise. Emotional fulfillment and bonding. Beyond the neurochemistry, there is emotional fulfillment. Physical closeness enhances the attachment bond between partners, offering reassurance and nurturing a profound sense of belonging and being valued. Redefining frequency. Quality over quantity. When addressing the question of optimal sexual frequency for older individuals, the answer cannot be reduced to a numerical metric. It is fundamentally rooted in connection, joy, and mutual well-being. Many individuals seek a definitive, quantifiable target, once a week, once a month, or some predetermined formula. However, the clinical truth is that no single, perfect number exists. What holds the greatest significance is the perceived quality and mutual fulfillment of the experience. Frequency is substantially less important than the subjective quality of the interaction. That established, research does provide some contextual perspective. A study published in the National Library of Medicine focusing on adults aged 65 and above found that participants engaging in sexual activity approximately once per week tended to report higher levels of happiness and overall life satisfaction, including stronger relationship quality. However, critically, the study also found that individuals who were intimate less frequently reported being equally happy and satisfied, provided their emotional connection and bond remained strong. This suggests that the fulfillment derived from intimacy is not contingent upon meeting an external quota, but on the subjective feeling of closeness, desirability, and mutual understanding. For some couples, once a month may be completely fulfilling. For others, touch and closeness may occur more often, even if it does not always culminate in full sexual intercourse. The evolution of intimacy and non-coital closeness. As we age, intimacy frequently evolves. Many individuals describe a shift in focus from performance metrics to emotional closeness. This removal of performance pressure can actually deepen relationships and, for some, increase the intrinsic desire for more frequent closeness. It must be acknowledged that health status significantly influences readiness for intimacy. Conditions such as arthritis, diabetes, or cardiovascular disease can impact energy levels and physical comfort. However, moderate sexual activity itself has been demonstrated to support blood flow, flexibility, and overall energy over time. If you manage chronic health concerns, intimacy may require modification, but it is not mandatory that it cease. With appropriate accommodations and open communication, closeness remains possible and equally meaningful. I always emphasize to my patients, intimacy does not exclusively necessitate intercourse. Gentle touch, affectionate kissing, or simply lying in close physical proximity can provide many of the same emotional and neurochemical benefits. These moments of tenderness reinforce the message that you are loved, desired, and worthy of closeness, irrespective of sexual frequency. Therefore, rather than posing the question, "How often should I be having sex?" a more constructive inquiry is, "What quality of intimacy feels right for me and my partner right now?" This question respects your individual health, unique circumstances, and personal rhythm, yielding an answer far more meaningful than any numerical statistic. Overcoming challenges and building a resilient bond, it is necessary to address the real barriers that can make intimacy challenging in later years. These obstacles are common, but they are frequently surmountable with targeted strategies. Physical limitations, chronic pain, arthritis, or mobility restrictions can impede certain movements. Many couples successfully navigate this by adjusting coital positions, e.g., lying side by side or using pillows for musculoskeletal support. The focus is on finding ways to maintain closeness while protecting joints and muscles. Vaginal atrophy, dryness, reduced estrogen levels post-menopause frequently lead to vaginal dryness, which can cause discomfort. This is a natural physiological change with accessible solutions. Over-the-counter lubricants and vaginal moisturizers can effectively restore comfort. For persistent symptoms, prescription treatments may be necessary. Do not hesitate to discuss this with your physician. It is a common, manageable issue. Emotional barriers, self-consciousness regarding an aging body, fear of performance, or anxiety about satisfying a partner can create emotional distance. The most powerful intervention is open and consistent communication. Sharing your feelings with your partner often reveals that they prioritize the emotional connection far above any perceived physical imperfection. Life stressors, caregiving responsibilities, elevated stress, or feelings of isolation can diminish libido. If you are struggling with persistent low mood or anxiety, professional support from a mental health provider can be profoundly beneficial. Tending to mental well-being is essential for maintaining a vital and enjoyable intimate life. The final secret. Love is the metric of intimacy. The emotional dimension of intimacy becomes the most meaningful component for many older adults. While youth may be driven by performance and novelty, aging transforms intimacy into an anchor of trust, connection, and profound shared understanding. At this life stage, your relationship is built upon deeper knowledge that transcends the physical. This understanding allows intimacy to be less about proving yourself and more about celebrating the enduring bond. Emotional intimacy strengthens self-esteem and the sense of belonging. Affectionate gestures, holding hands, lingering eye contact, sharing quiet moments are as important as physical closeness. They reinforce the message, "You are cherished." Studies in older adults consistently demonstrate that couples who prioritize and nurture this affection report stronger relationships and greater life satisfaction. Intimacy does not have a singular, predefined expression. While some couples continue to enjoy traditional sexual activity, others find profound fulfillment in non-coital forms of closeness. What is essential is that the emotional connection remains active and alive. This stage of life grants the freedom to redefine intimacy on your own terms, liberated from external pressures. This freedom often results in a richer, more authentic experience than ever before. Sustaining intimacy, the foundational elements. Healthy aging is the absolute foundation for sustained intimacy. Physical care. Regular activity, walking, yoga, light strength training maintains flexibility, mobility, and energy. A balanced, nutrient-rich diet supports both cardiovascular and sexual health. Mental well-being. Practices like mindfulness and meditation lower stress and facilitate deeper connection. Communication, honest vulnerability, based conversations about needs and desires dismantle anxiety and build trust, allowing intimacy to flow naturally. Evolutionary embrace. Recognize that changes in the body signify a new chapter, not a decline. Intimacy can be more satisfying than ever because it is rooted in authenticity, patience, and mutual care. So, how often should older people be having sex? The answer is not in the numbers. It is about sustaining connection, communicating openly, and allowing intimacy to be a consistent source of health, joy, and love on your own terms. I encourage you to embrace this reflection. Intimacy is not about keeping pace with external expectations. It is about honoring your body, cherishing your partner, and embracing the closeness that makes life richer at every stage. I hope this discussion encourages you to see intimacy as a lifelong gift that deepens with age.